County District Attorney Tony Rackauckus announced yesterday that his office would be seeking hate crime sentencing enhancements against the suspect in the killing of 19-year-old Blaze Bernstein.
We're looking for information that would help prove that Woodward, who is accused of being in possession of a large number of texts and images, and that he intended to murder Blaze based on factors of hate in addition to sexual orientation.
Well, joining us now for her first and only live interview since that announcement is Blaze's mom, Jeannie. Welcome, Jeannie. Thanks. So you got notice that this announcement was coming down 24 hours before. What's your reaction?
Relief, knowing that the case is progressing. They are taking the time to analyze everything.
And so what this means from a legal perspective is, without this, if it was just murder, it would be potentially 26 years to life. If this in fact goes and is convicted of murder with hate crime, it would be life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Correct. That'd enhance the sentencing.
And that's a big deal for you?
Well, it's a big deal because I don't want to go to parole hearings for the rest of my life. You know, at some point, with good behavior, you start to get a parole hearing.
And you know, this is a hate crime, and a lot of people know the aspect of the story that your son was gay, but another potential aspect of this being a hate crime was the fact that he was Jewish.
Yes, maybe they'll find a nexus with that as well, and that would increase the penalty. It could potentially, because it could elevate it to first-degree murder in California.
Since you came here last, I have to ask, how you doing? How are the other kids? How's the family? Has there been more support around you? Yeah,
I mean, we have a tremendous community in Orange County that is just rallied behind us, and actually nationally even. We still hear every day about great things that people do to honor my son's legacy of repairing the world and making it a better place.
And part of that, you use the phrase blaze it forward.
Yes.
And you're trying to help other families.
Yeah.
Describe what blaze it forward means and the best way that everybody can honor your son's legacy.
Well, for us it means just doing intentional acts of kindness, because that's the way that we can create love in this world. And when you start doing nice things for other people, if you feel good, and it doesn't matter where your place is in life, when you do something nice for someone else, it just elevates you. It really does. And it elevated us. It brought us from the lowest point in our lives to feeling like we could do something really good and make this world a better place, like my son would have done had he survived.
And so getting back to yesterday and what was announced and everything for you, and we're talking about relief and closure.
Yeah.
Is that what you needed? Did you need to hear the DA come out and say this was a hate crime?
Did I need to hear it? After reading, what everybody else has read from investigative reporting, I knew that at some point they would announce that there was this nexus. I just didn't know when it would happen, and I'm glad to see it happen now, because this is going to be a very long discovery process, and they have a lot of data to analyze, and that they've been able to affirmatively make that connection. I'm happy it's done now.
Do you think that this case could set a precedent that helps other families get similar relief?
I don't know, unless we can change the laws in California, because right now gay people are not a protected class when it comes to first-degree murder. If you're murdered because you're Jewish or you're a woman, those are protected classes. But if you're gay, no. So you don't have the option for a first-degree murder charge. It's not considered a special circumstance. And there has been some interest in changing the laws in California. Janet Nguyen in our district, our senator, has tried to do that, and maybe she will be successful soon, we hope.
And as a mom, you talked about Blaze It Forward. What do you do every day to blaze it forward?
I write, and we continue to try to find ways to help other students and children. My husband and I have been actively raising money for college scholarships at OSHA, which is my son's art school that he went to here in Orange County. And I've also joined a board at the University of Pennsylvania for writers, at the Kelly Writers House, so that I can help them improve that program. And we've established 2 internships and endowed them so that students can come to California to do writing in the summer from the school. So that's a big deal, and we'll continue to fundraise for that as well. And we've also continued to help Orangewood and encourage people to help there, and we have as well. So there's a lot of things going on, and it's all very positive. So, yeah.
So how do you do this? I mean, you got other young kids too.
Wow.
How do you get through this, and how's your whole family as a whole holding up?
Well, you know, it's difficult. We're definitely not the same family that we used to be. We're all changing and in transition. We were already very transitional. I have a son that just graduated from high school. My daughter's starting high school. So, you know, we were already going through a lot of changes this year. And it's just one more thing. So it's hard to say, you know, how things would have been different.
Really quickly, for anyone who else is going through this, who has experienced what you've experienced in your relationship with your husband, how do you stay connected?
Well, my husband and I have been together since we were teenagers. I mean, we were high school sweethearts, and we are so close, and that will never change. We've been through the best things of life and now the worst things, and we'll always be there for each other. We support each other 100%.
Well, we support you, and I think the Orange County community supports you, as does all of Southern California. And we thank you for sharing your story and for your continued activism.
Thank you.
And I'm sure your son would be very proud of all that you've done for him.
I hope so. Thank you.
As we say, blaze it forward. Do
Thank you.
something kind today.
Blaze it forward. Do something great today for
Okay.
someone else.
Thank you so much.
Jeannie Bernstein, thank you very much, and we'll be right back.